Welcome to Diva's Two Cents, where we take complicated matters each and every week and I bring them to you, to the audience, and I make them simple. And for the past several weeks, all I've been talking about is generational wealth. Generational wealth. How can we build generational wealth? Well, one of the ways that I've been stressing for the past couple of weeks has been through real estate. Real estate is the only vehicle that I know as a certified tax advisor that can really help you in the sense that number one, you are building wealth. You have on paper, you can show a loss and yet put money in your pocket. And as it accumulates, as it appreciates, your mortgage goes down. So your tenants, if you have tenants in there, it goes down. So just be very mindful of real estate for passive income is the way to go. All right. Now, before I introduce my wonderful guest here tonight, I just want to let you know I am inviting you to a 5-day challenge that I'm having in March. As a matter of fact, it's March 23rd through the 22nd at 2 p.m. Central Time. You put yes, I'm in the chat, and I'll make sure that you get the invite to that challenge because on day 4 of that challenge, I discuss passive income and real estate in depth as far as tax strategies that you can have. So without further ado, I want to introduce my guest. His name is Ricardo Castro, and he is with Nebraska Realty Group. Ricardo, how are you?
Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm sorry, my dog just invaded my space here, but
Oh,
I
that's
just
okay.
and thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, and thank you for educating all of us. We watch your videos, we watch your podcast, we watch your Diva 2 cents, and you're since I know you, you are educating many of us.
Thank you, thank you. And I know that he's being humble, everyone, because he is very well known. He is respected in the community. Ricardo Castro is the go-to person when a lot of realtors, and I'm a realtor as well. And as soon as you come out of school and you need to know something, and you get stuck with something, the first name that comes to mind is Ricardo Castro. Why not Ricardo Castro? Now, Ricardo, you are with Nebraska Realty, but you have your own group, right?
Yes, yes. I've been a realtor for 23 years. Been 22 of those 23 years with Nebraska Realty. And 13 years ago, we formed a team, joined forces with other realtors. There are 9 of us, bilingual realtors at this point.
9 realtors. Holy cow. So to be the team leader of 9 realtors, a lot of personalities going on there, huh?
No, it's not easy, but we enjoy it. I mean, we try to not only bring excellent professionals together. We are looking for good human beings to get along, to share the culture and ethics, of course.
Of course, of course. Now, Ricardo, I talk a lot about generational wealth and real estate as generational wealth. I know that you are not only a realtor, you're a landlord, you're also an investor. So, from an investment standpoint, can you talk a little bit about like how did you even get into investments and what do what can you share with the audience is the way to go like to build generational wealth in terms of investing?
Uh, when the idea first came, I think it's part of my background. I mean, my parents, they were blessed. They gave me good education down in Peru, and but they had a lot of up and down in their career, and they were business owners, small business owners as well. And in that process, I mean, although they gave me the best for me and my siblings, I mean, their retirement is pretty ridiculous. It's pretty. It doesn't make sense. People who work that hard all their life and provide the best to their kids, their retirement is pretty poor, to say a word. So that was one of my main concerns. And then, of course, having the financial means to finance my daughter's education if they decided to go to college. So those were my main 2 drivers in my own case to invest in real estate. When being a realtor, of course, exposed me to different opportunities, even when clients didn't see the opportunity or didn't understand the opportunity. I clearly asked them, okay, since are you gonna buy it or not? If you're not, I'm gonna go for it. In many cases, of
Yeah.
course, I like anybody else. I went through my times of analysis paralysis, of course, but I'm a I think I got the expertise, necessary expertise to know the market, to know the demographics of different areas that I prefer to either become a landlord or a flip.
Okay. So when you see a building or a home or a house, because they're all different, right, for everybody, what's the first thing you think of? Do you think, oh, that's a good one to live in, that's a good one to flip, or that's a good one to invest in and, give it to others? What do you think?
My after we bought our first house in the first 10 years, we moved 4 times because I was uh, taking advantage of opportunities. But at the same time, of course, it got to the point that we realized that we needed more stability for our growing daughters. So at this point, I haven't moved in 10 years myself. So I
Okay.
you gotta draw a line between your personal life and your assets, where you're gonna create memories, and also business. On the business side, I'm in the stage of my life now that I'm not doing flips. I'm not flipping houses. Maybe the last one was in 2021 or 22.
Okay.
I'm more concentrated in increasing my portfolio of rental properties. And what I'm looking for, it depends of my target market at that specific time. I own 2 properties that I use for short-term rentals, Airbnb, Furnish Finders,
Okay.
which are still, those two are 2 different platforms and 2 different businesses. And then I have other ones that are the regular 1 year rent units, and I also have rooms with shared bathrooms. So I've been learning over the years the different segments I'm on the rental business,
Ah,
and it depends of the cases. What I try to see, what is the strength of this one, and this apply maybe for short-term rental, or this doesn't. It is part
okay.
of it.
Okay. So for someone just starting to invest, do they start with apartments? We call them doors, or do you start them off with a one family, or you start them off with a two family? How do you even, like, if I walked in your office and said, Ricardo, I'm interested in, I want to be an investor.
I would say I, for much of what I do in my life, I I write or type a simple SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of the whole environment, the economic environment of our city and the country, and also my own strengths at that specific time. 2022, I might have different strengths that I have right now, and I have maybe weaknesses that I didn't have before, or
Okay.
vice versa.
Okay.
And that includes family, that includes not only external situations, also what I'm going through in my life. So after I do that is when, and that's what I recommend people. They analyze. Yes, you are a contractor, you know how to fix things, so labor is going to be much reachable to you, but at the same time you have to put a dollar amount in that labor, in those times invested in fixing a property after your 8 hours work. And
Yeah.
so I suggest people to be realistic. You know, it's, some people come to my office and they say, hey, I want to buy investment property. What kind of investment property? Oh, whatever, it's a rental or a flip. I try to, please give me some minutes to analyze where you are in your life, because maybe a flip is what you is precise for you and the help you have and your financial strengths,
Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
it's better for you to be a landlord at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And after they identify those 2 different branches of the real estate investment world, is when we go and decide if okay, if you have the financial means to, let's say you decided to become a landlord, and you want to buy you have the financial means to buy more than 1 unit. Okay, is a duplex or a triplex good for you, or maybe single family residence? if someone tells me I just want to invest in one property, I have money for one property, I would recommend, and I have a full-time job, I recommend to start with a single family residence. And first, get to know what is it to make money out of your investment, out of an asset.
Right, right. It's funny because they say, so when they come and they say, I want to, I want to flip a property, they have no idea sometimes that, you have to factor, numbers tell stories, right? So the numbers
Exactly.
have to be realistic, and the story has to tell you that it's going to give you passive income. So if you're the type of person out there that want to call Ricardo tomorrow and say, I want to flip a home, are you in a position where that home that you're going to look for, that apartment or that complex, is it going to cash flow enough so that you can factor in some management cost in there so that you don't have to say in the back of your mind, I don't want to wake up at 3 in the morning because somebody's toilet is clogged, right? There's just so much into it. I mean, one of my first flips, Ricardo, was about 40 years ago, maybe even longer. I was gonna have my daughter, I think it was, and she's gonna be, well, she's over 47 now, but I remember, big belly with a sledgehammer knocking down walls, wondering what did I get into. So a lot of times they don't know what they're getting into. And it's up to us to kind of educate them that it's not for the now, it's for what you're going to build with this rental. Now, do you just do residential, Ricardo, or do you also dabble in commercial?
No, I do commercial too. I enjoy doing commercial. I like to see businesses, how they go from A to Z in X period of time. I like to advise people of how profitable that business could be or not. Now, this is a key word here, business. I mean, one of the stages in the conversation with future investors is they need to realize that each property is a business unit. It's if you think that you want to do a business and real estate could be one of your businesses, make sure you understand that if you open a shoe store or you open a restaurant, you have to go and either you cook or you manage it, or you have to go and visit your business and be present. Uh, Maybe not 100% of the time, but sometime, and or most of the time. Same thing with a rental property. I mean, if a realtor or someone tells anyone that yeah, is you rent the property and then you just wait for your rent, that's a lie. That's
Yeah.
actually, I'm not being negative, but when I don't hear much from the tenants and they pay on time or before, it's because they don't want to see me. They are hiding something usually. And so over the years, I learned that you gotta pay an eye on your properties and go. I enjoy I enjoy that part of the flipping part of the business. I love it. I think I have the strength to realize if I go to a three-bedrooms house with a one bathroom, how to make that property a five-bedroom home with a two bathroom and a nice looking property, and well, the layout and everything well professionally done. The thing is, I stopped doing it because I don't have the time to supervise the contractors.
Ah,
The,
okay.
the,
I
last,
got you.
the last time I did it, it was a good result as physically, but money wise, it wasn't because it took like 6 months for me to rehab that property. And when the original plan was 3 months, and I just didn't have the time to drive my car, stop, walk around 3 times per week.
Right,
Just didn't have the time.
right,
So
right.
it's a business. You gotta people. Unfortunately, we like to hear what we wanna say or what we want them to say, but everybody has to be realistic. Real estate is an excellent business, but there's pros and cons, like
Right.
anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now I have some clients that have real estate as, as passive income, and they have it on their I like to look at people's lives on two sides, maybe because I'm an accountant. So on one side is all the operational income coming in, and then on the other side all that passive income that I want them to eventually go to take all of this money they make on an operational side so they can invest it on this side and get all that passive income and not give it to the government, right? Because the 1%ers should not be the only ones that know these strategies, right? So,
Yeah.
but, like you said, you have to be clear. If you're out there looking for real estate to build generational wealth, you've got to be clear on a couple of things. Number one, how long you're going to hold it. Number two, is the property going to sustain? Is it going to give you the cash flow if you do hold it? Is it going to give you the cash flow to maintain it so that you can have cash flow constantly? Now, Ricardo, one of the when I think about the what is the term, wholesaling? Do you wholesale here in Nebraska?
No, we don't. We don't.
Okay.
We are on the more clearer part of the industry. We represent people buying and selling.
Yeah.
We dealt with wholesalers
Okay.
many times,
Okay.
but one thing that I like about this industry, Diva, in Nebraska, because I know realtors and close friends who are realtors in different states, is that everything is here is pretty clear. Everybody has a role. There's an entity for each part, for the lending, for the insurance part, there's a professional for each part, the title companies.
Yeah.
I learned in other states is different. I can wear different hats. I prefer not to jump into that arm of the industry because it could get people confused, and I might get confused as well in the middle of the process.
I
So
got you. I got you. Yeah.
we just
Okay.
represent people buying and selling.
Yeah, yeah. I belong to a women's women who invest. That's the name of the group. And there we have some women who have money that will lend, will lend for the down payments, like the $1,000 earnest deposit. They'll lend $1,000 constantly. And I've got a group of women that just deal with wholesalers. So they'll lend $1,000 for the down payment, and then on the assignment of, and just for those of you that don't know what the wholesaling that I'm talking about is, where I get into a contract, and then I assign that contract to someone else, and then I go to closing. So the property may or may not necessarily be mine. It's just a transactional thing. Now, I am going to go on the record because my broker in Florida is probably listening. We don't wholesale in Florida, okay? No, that is a no-no for Century 21 in Florida. We do not wholesale because, you probably could do it if you do two transactions. Buy it, hold it even if for a day or two, and then sell it afterwards. But now you have two closing costs, and is it going to give you the money that you thought it was going to give you? But yeah, there's a lot of confusion on that as well. There's confusion on the wholesaling, Ricardo, and there's also confusion on the NAR rulings now between agents and selling agents. Like there's a lot of confusion there. Do you find in your group that there was a lot of confusion, or has that smoke all cleared?
No, after the changes in August 17, 2024, yeah, there was confusion at the beginning. Now, in Nebraska, at least, I know in other states it's different. In Nebraska, maybe 99% of my clients, my sellers, after the new regulations passed, they still decided to pay the payout for the buyer's agent. Because they realized that the value of a realtor is bringing more exposure and more traffic to the property. Like we say when we do workshops, people can't buy without a realtor. But I would recommend to hire an attorney if they're going to do it. People need to understand is in the case of we whose mother's language is not English, we can get to the point that we understand English, but it still is a lot of legal lingo, legal. You gotta understand, not only read, it is interpret the whole situation. And it's like if I want to buy a house in South America, I would hire someone because I never own a house down there.
Right.
My language is Spanish, but it's still
right.
So yeah, there was confusion, but over the time, I think things got back to where they were before, at least here in town.
Yeah, we do. We serve I like to say we're proud to serve the communities that we live in, right? So we've got a large Hispanic community here in Omaha that rely on Ricardo Castro and his bilingual group. He has a huge bilingual group. There should be no reason why anyone should go into a contract that's Hispanic that is not understanding it, because they understand it, they speak it, and they can explain it to you. So if you're out there and you are bilingual, yeah, go to Ricardo, because his team can help you. Now I speak Spanglish. I say I don't speak great English. I don't speak great Spanish. I just communicate. But I was born in New York, so I'm Spanglish. But yeah, no, that's true what you say. That's very, very true. When they come to you, they need to understand what they're getting into, the contracts they're signing, the agreements they're getting into, because there's a lot of responsibility for realtors, right? I mean, you hold a, a lot of responsibility, you
That's
know?
what I like to do while I work in the place where I do it. Because back in the day, for example, my first transaction, few transactions, there wasn't in the case when I represent or we represent a Spanish speaking person, and title companies at the time, there was only one person doing closes in Spanish. And she quit for some time, the company she worked for. And so we were in charge of translating those closings. Uh, I don't like that. I prefer someone who knows about the title company industry to explain. I can read and translate, but that's not specifically explaining thoroughly and properly. And that's one of the reasons I like to do what I do here. Is that I don't provide loans, mortgage loans. So I'm gonna give you if you don't have a company or a lender that you choose, you're gonna have many options that we can refer you to. And same thing with title companies, same thing with home inspectors. I mean, you and I dealt with clients together before. I mean, when we have business owners, and I don't have the answers for the accounting part. Still, to me, oh, I'm being a business owner for 23 years. Still, to me, that's a total different language. So I prefer to refer to people like you that who I are going to explain this on detail, and so
Right,
I get on
right.
my shoulders.
Yeah, and we're lucky. We're lucky here because we do have title companies here that are Hispanic that can speak the language for the communities that we serve. So we're very fortunate, in that regard. We're fortunate that I'm fortunate to know you because I only like to deal with people that I trust. You have to, especially in real estate, you've got to know who you go to, who you send people to. You can't send people to someone that, is going to mess them up, so to speak, because in reality, it comes back to you. You sent them there, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah, you
You're
sent
right.
them there. So it's very difficult to refer people unless you know the other
One
person.
thing that we advise investors in real estate is once you realize what arm or what branch of the business you're gonna get into, if you're gonna become a landlord or an investor. And if you're gonna be a landlord, are you gonna buy duplexes, fourplexes, multi-family apartments, or mixed use, or office, or industrial? There's business for everything. I mean, we have clients who specialize on buying properties, so they rent to tire change places or oil change places or mechanics. We have another one who likes to buy commercial properties to rent to churches, right, to small religious assemblies. We have the people who like to buy single family residence to rent in a regular situation, 1 year contract. We have people specifically looking for short term rentals. So once people decide that, they need to realize that they're gonna have success if they build a team. Who's the team? The realtor that you choose, the realtor who's gonna have the time and show you properties and give you advice on what to do with that property to
Yeah,
get to what you want.
yeah,
But at the same time, you have to have an accountant,
yeah, yeah,
a well-known real
right,
estate
yeah, yeah,
accountant, or someone who knows about real estate,
right.
an attorney just in case, real estate attorney or state attorney. You have to have a good home inspector that you trust, that you understand that is not going to scare you, that you actually you're going to know how to read what he's telling you. Same thing with lenders, right? I mean, there are lenders who are real good, they have pretty good programs for just one single family mortgages, but some other lenders have better programs for commercial or investment properties.
Right, right.
you gotta have your own
Right.
circle.
Right. So let me ask you this: Is when is a good time of the year for realtors, and then what is a not so good time of the year? And then I'll ask you the same question, but I'm gonna ask it like when is a good time for investors and when is a bad time?
For realtors, historically, winter is slower, and because people think twice before getting out there and walk around snow or cold weather. Cold weather. Uh, some years that wasn't the case. It was busy all year long. I remember 1 year, no, 2 years, different years where I was writing contracts on December 24th and December 31st, and then, or sitting down at the houses of sellers and explaining this is the offer that you got. And but still, I would say winter slower. For investors, many investors like to buy in the winter because they think the houses are more negotiable, and I know two investors that they really prefer to purchase between December and March.
Oh.
Uh, Even it's funny because one guy one time called me. It's snowing. Let's throw the offer that we were thinking. Let's do it now. I think or empty houses. Because they think people are paying or bills and things like that. Depends how the people feel, but we've seen that case in wintertime. Many investors like present offers.
That's funny that you say that because when it's winter, like in what I do, like let's say in accounting in the tax advisory world, okay, um, you start out at the beginning of the year. You see, I prefer to look at your finances at the beginning of the year so that I can look and project what you should be. If you tell me you want to go that way, then I have to build a plan for you so that by the end of the year you're there. So when I think of realtors, right, and I think of people buying homes, in the wintertime when the some of the realtors don't want to go out because of the snow, to me personally, I think that's the best time to go out because there's nobody out there doing it. There's nobody advertising. There's nobody coming to a seller who may be desperate to sell, and nobody's knocking on their door asking them. So maybe I look at things a little differently. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of what we do for a living that's a little different.
Yeah. It depends. I mean, I myself, coincidentally, I moved in one time December and many times March, the beginning of March.
Yeah.
Maybe yes, it worked for me as well that I could negotiate the houses better because I had less competition, perhaps less agents getting out there, and less people actually wanted to go out there. Uh, but it depends. If I'm buying, for example, a multifamily building, I think the season of the year doesn't matter much.
Right. Right.
In that case, you have to talk to your accountant because I heard sometimes some of my clients say, "Man, I need to close before the end of the year. I really need to close before the end of the year, right?"
For the
To
depreciation to get the depreciation.
exactly.
I got you.
So, but that's part of when they do a team. They have a team. They consult not only with
Yeah.
us, with their accountant.
Right.
So
Right.
it's pretty important to be in communication with the professional and trust them. So that's why
Yeah.
interview your accountant, interview your realtor, I mean, shop around with lenders until you sit down. Once you sit down and that person shows and the value and demonstrates, stick with them
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
trust them.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Absolutely.
important.
No, this is good. No, this is good. And what Ricardo, I really appreciate you say that because we're not for everybody, all right? Some people may not want to do business with a woman. Maybe they want to do business with a guy. Maybe they don't want to do business with a short lady, or maybe they don't want a tall lady. I mean, you're not for everybody. So it's okay to go out there and start interviewing the people that you want to do business with. Because remember, you only do business with people you trust and the people that you get along with. So go out there. It's okay. Find those deals. Now, do you get a lot of deals that are off market other than on market?
We get some. We used to get more a few until maybe a year ago. We still get some. Maybe we close in the transaction like that with clients representing buyers like once every 2 months now.
Okay.
It used to be more often. My duty is if you're looking for a house in a specific area and you already tell me your budget or your pre-approval amount, I mean, I need to look for anything that is in the MLS, but also check my resources, right? I
Right.
mean,
Right.
I have contacts with wholesalers and with investors, and usually
Right.
when I don't find, and we keep seeing that we don't find, we can touring properties and they don't find what they want. Yes, I call a wholesaler or investor.
Okay.
You have anything
Okay.
available
Okay.
with these characteristics? Sometimes they do, and everything has to go through my broker anyways. So there's extra documentation to be filled, and so yes, there are many resources for to bring
Yeah.
options for clients.
Yeah. Now, for those of you out there that are more interested in what Ricardo has to offer, Ricardo, how do they get a hold of you?
My personal number is 402-999-1707. Please be patient because, for example, right now I'm not answering my phone. When I'm with clients or when I mean I respect their time and I don't answer my phone like right
Well,
now too. But and they can check us at social media, any of the platforms, Facebook, Instagram,
okay.
Castro Realty Group.
Okay.
It's Castro like my last name, Realty Group, and our website crghouses.com. I'm I enjoy a lot. I mean, representing investors, not only first-time home buyers. I mean, I like. I'm proud actually to see how many of my clients now they own their portfolio is bigger. I have one case of a truck driver who is with me since 2004, and he always had a dream and saying, hey, I need to acquire more real estate because I want to stop driving the truck. I want to spend more time with my family. About 5 years ago, it took him a while, but he's finally living out of his property. And he repairs, he manages everything, but he owns a lot of doors in town. And I saw how he evolved since he was single, he's married, his wife helps with the property management. Uh, I mean, I saw the evolution of them as well as they saw mine too.
That's freedom. That's what I call financial freedom. When you can replace the operational income with passive income and enjoy what you're doing, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna put the comments down in the. We're gonna put your contact information down there. But Ricardo, do you still have your conference?
Yes, we are doing the conference in August. The date to be disclosed yet. It's
Okay.
gonna be, I most likely it's gonna be the weekend of the August 15th, and which is a conference in that specific case is in Spanish only, that where we explain and bring together investors, local investors, uh, local resources. You were there. Thank you for your time and Robert's time to explain about insurance, about accounting, and everything related. Lenders, non-traditional lenders, home warranty companies, inspectors, different the city of Omaha, and different. Then yes, we're gonna do that. Now we also do workshops not only in Spanish during the year. So check us in social media, Castro Realty Group,
Okay.
because we announced there are some workshops that we do through the year,
Okay.
and this year we're planning to do many more with the investment part
Okay. Excellent.
in English
Excellent.
as well.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned for Ricardo's. What's the name of your conference?
Supera,
Supera.
Supera, Supera,
Supera. Supera.
which is
Uh,
improvement.
improvement. Okay. All right. Achieve. Right. Achievement is it? Supera. Achievement. Improvement.
Supera
Okay.
to improve.
To improve. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Well, Ricardo, I can't thank you enough. How about giving us one last tip? Something you could tell everybody, the viewers, that you would like them to know. Give
I've
us.
been over the year. I'm blessed to own about 55 doors that we rent, that we are landlords. Commercial, residential, among those two short-term rentals, and I'm I enjoy conveying my own experiences. I enjoy being frank and telling people, this might not be for you at this point. It's their decision, of course. I passed excellent business opportunities on the real estate aspect that I let my buyers go because I wasn't in a situation like that. So think twice, do a SWOT analysis, analyze yourself and where you are, in your family, your financial situation, your health situation, different aspects. How's your marriage going at that point? If you're planning to, do you have kids? 2 years ago, my dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so I have to go more often, travel more often. So my own plan, my small business plan, it had to be tweaked a little bit when once I learned about that, because of course I was going to be interrupted more often. So
Yeah.
those all those aspects play a role in an investment,
I got you.
right?
Yeah.
We can do many things, and we're here to help you, but of course, let's be realistic.
Good, good. Well, thank you so much, Ricardo. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And for those of you out there, don't forget, if you need anything, Ricardo Castro, Castro Realty Group, Nebraska Realty in Omaha, Nebraska. And that, my friend, is Diva's 2 cents.
Thank you, Diva. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.